Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Love ya. And um, I haven't felt like making much. I would kind of start a video and then just stop. I didn't really have. I don't know. I would think of maybe a topic to start talking about, and then I just wouldn't feel like saying anything. And maybe this will help in talking about this. I've kind of felt like talking with someone. It's hard to make things on your own sometimes, so I understand why people have guests on their podcast or have like a co-host or whatnot. Um, but I do like talking. So anyway, I guess I think this might be the reason why I felt like I couldn't do anything else. Um, I learned that you need to kind of get to the core of yourself and what your conscious or unconscious fears or thoughts or feelings are. And for me right now, I don't know, it's kind of happened on and off in my life, and it's kind of, I suppose, a gradual decline. It's very sad, but I feel like it's almost to a permanent point now. So sometimes I think I have a lot more longevity and possibility in my life and what I want to do, but sometimes I feel like so defeated. And it's been about 20 years that I've tried to make a career in music, and it's just been, I don't want to say total failure, but because I have done some things, but very little and essentially nothing compared with what I would want. And you hear a lot of these like motivation, you hear a lot of don't give up and keep trying, or try to do something else within the industry or something that might be related, or you know manifestation things, sort of going along with the book The Secret, which I think is the modern form of The Secret, is the manifestation things. And if you don't know what either of those are, it's basically like believing that you have something or believing that something will happen, and then it's going to happen, apparently. Um, and I've done that. I've tried everything. Apart from, I don't know, going town to town performing at open mics. Like, I have done open mics, but I haven't gone like. So the thing is, I wouldn't even know that what I want to do is, I've always wanted to do, I guess, just entertain. I like entertaining people. I want people to feel happy. And one of my favorite things in life is surprising people. I just really love that. I love the joy that it brings people when they get a positive surprise, I mean. And I would love seeing how excited some people would get when they see someone from a film or a musician or a TV actor or something else that they really enjoy. I love that sort of joy and bringing that to people, and I suppose you can bring joy to people through other things, through gifts and things like that, and which is great. But there's something about that human connection that you get. It's just, there's nothing comparable. You can't buy that. And perhaps it is a bit self-centered in that if I wanted to have this sort of reaction, I would be at the center of it. And I do think it may go in part with sort of my feelings of abandonment, and then that you feel better when people are excited to see you, certainly. And maybe harkens back to when I was a child and people would be always happy to see. But that's, that's how everyone is. But I think it might be more ingrained in my mind than others because, I don't know, people always told me that I was a very cute child, and you don't really get compliments when you're older, and and I dealt with so much hardship in my childhood that it was. I still remember quite vividly those very early years before you really register kind of that something might be wrong in your life, that some things are a little too crazy or whatnot. So anyway, the title of this video I think is going to be letting a dream die. And I know people have this tendency to, they want to help, which is really, really nice, but unless people give some sort of concrete solution, it often isn't going to help. Nothing's going to change, and I don't know. Sometimes it's not the right thing. Sometimes it's, a lot of people do want some sort of entertainment. That's why it's so it's an entertainment career. That's why it's so packed. That's why for auditions for talent shows, there's millions of people, sometimes, or hundreds of thousands or whatever. A lot of people auditioning. There's so many people that put out things on the internet. There's so many people that try to get like a record deal. That's not as common now, but there's so many actors. I used to go to saw some auditions, and there'd be 20, 30 other people there sometimes, and some of the casting rooms are quite fascinating because you'll see like they're trying to get this specific look. So you go and you'll see like 15 thin black women with like large hair, or you'll see like again like 20 old guys with like pot bellies and long white beards, and maybe that's some sort of Santa role or something. But you get these like, you'll see all of this specific looking person in this area. And I suppose myself, I kind of have gone from thing to thing. I think well, I should say, I now realize that not everyone wants to do entertainment, but it does feel like that. That I heard Jim Gaffigan, who's a comedian, say that he wanted to be an actor, and he said that he's like, but everyone wants to do that, and this lady was like, no, not everyone. She's like, I don't want to do that. So it's kind of, let me change the background here. I do know that not everyone enjoys entertainment, but there's far too many people who want to do it than there are positions, lucrative positions for it. So you have to get your way in there, and there can be tons of qualified people for a position, but there's just not enough room. And I know people who are extremely qualified. Actually, the guy I met an actor who was like phenomenal, and he had a long time struggle. He had been a successful actor in Mexico, and then he came to America, and for a long, seemed like 5 years he didn't really get work, but now he's doing pretty good. He's on a couple of shows, but you can see how much competition there is. And that guy, he was in a feature film. He was the lead in a feature film in Mexico, and then he came to America, and he was working alongside me, who was just doing really small parts. And it took him a long time to get back to a position of making some things that are significant. Anyway, so I think the first thing is that I would see how much attention actors were getting, and I thought it might be like interesting, but I was afraid of being judged, so I didn't like jump into that. And again, that kind of goes back to trying to make up for the feeling of not being loved. And I think I've had that for most of my life, not being truly loved. And the fame really does fill that hole for a little while, and I know it's not temporary, but it really does fill it for a little while. So it's that's what humans want the most, apart from after your basic needs. So I suppose I'm wandering around a lot in this. Interestingly, I've gotten the most success in the things that I've worked the least on, which is modeling, but I think that's quite straightforward in that you either look the way they want you to or not. There's a little bit, you can do some things to get your chances up, your odds better, but as long as you don't look crazy and you're fairly presentable, you can get modeling jobs, even if you're not that good looking. But even like I couldn't name the top model in America, top male model, or the top male model in the world. So it's something about like you're seen, but it's not. To me, it's not really feeding that much of the emptiness inside of someone. Having said that, if there was a like fairly lucrative modeling deal or work or something, that because what I've had was just kind of on and off things, I would take it. But anyway, kind of digressing. Trying to think of a point that I was going to make before. So I do think that there's still definitely potential for me to do like more acting things in the future, but it would be the thing that I would want to do most, but I also naturally am so unmotivated. I'm like happy. The thing is, I used to be able to. I mean, 20. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've tried basically for 20 years to make a career in the entertainment industry, and I said that before, but they talk about long suffering and delayed gratification, and after you've met so many dead ends or just things that have little tiny payoffs, you feel like nothing will ever work. And I don't know, maybe it's God telling me that this is the wrong thing, but I've thought about what else I could do and things, and nothing else seems interesting to me. Nothing else gets me motivated. And I'm not even that motivated to do this, to do anything. I realize that if I could just play video games and eat most days, and I know I'm not alone in that, and that's because a lot of people, that's what they do with their life. But I feel like it's not right. I don't think, unless that's the way you're making money, I feel like it's not that good. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think I should be helping the world and somehow, um, and uh, I mean, I could potentially go pro in one game, but that would be if I dedicated all my time to it, and it's only potentially, so I might not, so it might be a giant waste of time, um, and I don't really think I feel like I have a lot more potential than doing that, and I'm not don't mean that all to say that someone who's a professional video game player they're not using their potential. I just feel like for me, I feel like I have a decent amount of intellect, um, and I know this may sound self-aggrandizing, but I don't. I just this is how I feel, and I'm just being honest with it. I feel like I'm at least decent looking, at least somewhat intelligent, at least okay at speaking. I actually consider myself to be a very good public speaker, and I think it comes very naturally to me. And I love things where I'm just able to talk and people will listen. And so I'm really good at one-on-one with people, but not like with a group of like a couple people or at like a party. But I'm good at with speaking in front of like a couple hundred people, like at a speech. So if it's something like where I can control when I talk and when I stop talking, and when people are listening or not, I would really like flights when there was like someone nice next to me, like to talk to, because um, they're stuck there to talk with me, which sounds bad, but I don't mean it to be that I don't want people to uh, do what they want, which is, I certainly do. But it's a situation in which people they don't really have any other choice either to talk to you or not talk to you. They don't have the option to get up and walk around the plane and talk to other people that much. Sometimes they do, but yeah, I've always been good with one-on-one and with giving speeches, and I I don't know. Maybe this video is coming around to say like um, I should give speeches, but I don't even know. Like I have looked up jobs, sort of being like a spokesperson and things, and usually these jobs are sort of for people who are like vice presidents or presidents of a company or something, um, which that might be good for me, but most companies won't put you in that position right away unless you have some solid credentials, and I have a decent resume, but nothing that would likely lend itself to being a spokesperson for a large company, as far as I know. Um, so I guess maybe it's a human connection that I sort of crave, um, and I think when you talk, you find out things. I didn't know that for a long time. I had talked with a psychologist, and she mostly just asked me questions, and I would talk, and I felt much better after that. And I didn't know that I would, but I had kept, because of my upbringing, I had kept stuff inward so much that it was that I didn't know that you would feel better just talking about things. You could. And I think it's super important because sometimes you are thinking things that don't really make much sense, and when you say it out loud, you go, "Oh yeah, why would I think that? That's silly." Or you're not able to sort of get to the conclusion of something until you speak it out loud, and I don't really know why. It seems not logical, I suppose. Something with the brain, it just doesn't process as well until something is spoken out loud. um, so to get back to the point of the video, letting a dream die, and like I said, I sort of have let things die, and I've gone, okay, well, I don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't have to think about this anymore. I'll just do something else. But then I get to a point where I go, I've thought about it for almost the entire time I've been trying to have some sort of career in entertainment. Is like, what else could I do? What else could I do? And I don't know, just nothing feels like fulfilling, and like I have energy to do it, or like um, inspiring, I suppose, and I don't feel like I have enthusiasm for things. I did have pretty severe depression for a long time, but I didn't know it because I thought depression was like where you physically couldn't move. I always could, but it would just be really, really difficult. And sometimes often I feel like things are very difficult to do anything. Even to kind of put on a smile for people or to have a good attitude, it just feels exhausting for me. And I don't know if it's more or less than other people, or one time my mom said that I don't handle pain well, and I was kind of upset, and I disagreed with her, but I realized it's true. Maybe I have like sort of an extreme reaction to any sort of pain, and I feel that trying to have a good attitude is painful. Just when you see somebody and going, "Hi, how are you?" I feel like it's so draining on my energy. And I know one thing is that I need to like eat. I've learned about myself is I need to eat more like carbohydrates and things, and which it took me a really long time to figure out because I'm so literal in that I tend to believe people when they say things, and most like health people will say, don't eat carbohydrates and things. So I wouldn't eat any. I just eat like fruit and vegetables, and that's great. But I would feel like no energy, and I sort of feel that now. So maybe I'll feel better if I just eat some carbs and things and fat. I started noticing that if I would have like a piece of pizza, I would feel much more energetic for like a day or so. And so that was kind of how I was trying to figure out if it was like salt or fat or carbs, and I think it might be all three of them or something. I'm still not sure. Maybe I could get a blood test, but anyway, yeah, this thing of like energy and motivation and trying to do something you want, and it's hard like again because I said that people generally want to help you when you say like, oh, I don't have hope, or I've given up on something, or whatnot. But I don't know. I've never really heard anything that's like really good advice. I actually asked somebody on Reddit who said she was a career advisor about like if you've put in like 15 years of work on becoming a musician and it hasn't worked out, what advice would you get? And she basically said like, oh, maybe try something else. Which I was like, this is your job, your career advisor. That's your best advice. That's anybody could. It's I've sort of, I guess, people have to say something, but sometimes these advisors, they are giving advice that's anybody could give. And I don't even know how you become a career. A lot of advisory positions are people who just kind of consider themselves an expert, just market themselves as an expert, and whereas when they're not really that knowledgeable about a certain topic. And I know people who have done that who are not really very knowledgeable about their area of expertise in their advisory role. So anyway, I guess this is just another. Not just another. This is just a no hope video. The thing is that my life is fine right now. Like, things are fine. I'm healthy, fairly healthy. I have some issues that I need to get taken care of, but like, I'm not dying right now, as far as I know. I have a roof and a bed, and I have some food and water. So, thank God for all those things. And sometimes I try to put things in perspective in going, oh, at least I'm not in this position, at least I'm in this position. But I do think that's sort of a band-aid, and it doesn't really help you feel better. I think for a short moment, it can help you feel better, but it is good to have perspective and to be very grateful. And I do try to be grateful, and I am grateful, but I don't know, the mind goes back, and I hope it'll change. Sometimes I feel much better than others. I feel like things are okay, but I don't know. I suppose recently I just failed at something, and I feel like it's really hit rock bottom in terms of like hope of doing something that I want, and there's just this kind of deadness inside. It really took it really hit me the hardest sometimes I'll be watching something. I gotta go get a charger, but I'll just walk around like this. It hits me really hard when I see something that I know I would have loved to do. So most recently, I was watching. So a lot of times it'll be like a singer's a pop group or some acting role or something, modeling. But most recently it was the music video Dynamite from the group BTS. And I get so full of sort of rage about it, which I really don't want to, and I don't mean to, but it's just when you've tried so hard for so long. And I actually had gone to some K-pop company auditions, and I did get through to a company that was like they claimed they were like a new K-pop company, and they were looking for people, and I got through the first round, and then they had some sort of financial fallout, and I think it was related to the around this time the Chinese stock market took a big dive, and it was an Asian-based company, so I think it may have been related to that, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I got through the first round, and then it got canceled. Their search. So I don't know. I was like happy that I felt like I got something accomplished, and I had worked really hard on it, and I have those videos on this channel, I think. Sorry, those are my Cats. Making a lot of noise. My cats do bring me a lot of joy. So thank God for them. So yeah, anyway, I got through that, and I had been on two other K-pop company auditions, and one they were really, actually both of them, they seemed very impressed, and then they asked me if I spoke Korean, and I said no. And the first one was like, so, okay, and another one was like, they asked me. I knew a little bit of the song "Sorry" by Super Junior. Sorry, 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 no, sorry, nicka, 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 manja, nicka, 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 manja, 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 baby. At least part of that was not pronounced correctly, but it was something. It was a while ago, and I feel like I almost may have got it, but I had sort of a similar reaction after I had sang it, like I don't know. But she's like, no, it's fine. No, don't do that. She didn't say don't do that, but I think my sort of dip in perceived confidence, and they want people to be like sure of themselves, and I think I had given a perception of like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing. So I am proud of myself in that I did get some, albeit if it's something even very tiny, some sort of accomplishment, in that people seemed to think that what I was doing was good. Like I said, they seemed to be excited, and then sort of be disappointed when I didn't speak Korean. And then one of them I actually got through the first round. So just repeated what I said before. Anyway, I do have hope in that. I think I'm a little bit younger looking than I seem, and I try to keep like good care of my appearance and things. And so I look at a guy like Ryan Reynolds, who's I think 45. I saw, and he seems to have like a decent career. And although he's not like, well, yeah, I mean, like, just part of kind of being in entertainment is you want to be somewhat appealing looking. It's not necessary, especially if you're in like comedy and things, which I actually have done. It's a whole other thing. Stand up, but it definitely helps. And so what I was saying was, I think there's some hope in that. I could do something in the future, but it's just it's hard to put so much work into things and then have them not really be that valued, not nearly as much as you want, or not bring some lucrative things to it. Especially when you put a lot of energy in, learning like dance routines uses up a lot of energy. It's very mentally and physically draining. So making this video is the only thing that I felt like I kind of had energy to do. I felt like motivated for in a long time. And yeah, if even if no one sees it, it's alright, because I feel better, and I hope that's kind of the crux of it. Is I want other people to feel better, and I want me to feel better, and it's the only thing I can think of that does that, is in terms of a career. Like feel fulfillment all the time. It's in some like entertainment or possibly public speaking, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to get into that really. I don't know. Um, it's funny because I put, like I did say I got the most for the amount of work I put into it, the most benefit from modeling, and then the second most from acting. Um, and what was I gonna say? Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. I would still like to do that. I would like to do all these things that I said, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what else to do. I kind of given up, but I don't know what else to do. I just guess that'll be the end of the video, and thank you guys for watching. If anybody did. Want to spread love and be loving and make people feel better and just have me at least feel like fulfilled, you know, in my daily life and in what I do for a living. So, I would take care. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. God bless and have a good one. You can comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know if there's something I should do. Maybe some reaction thing. I don't know. Take care. Thanks.